Hello and thanks for joining us for yet again another interview here on Newsnet. Today we're with Citizens for Democracy's Xi Jinping Plonk. Hello.
Hello, Matthew Tofu. I'm Xi Jinping, and I'm the representative here today for Citizens for Democracy.
Right. Well, you've already done a brief presentation, but if there's anything else you would like to add.
Okay. CFD is basically a party which is for this election. After the merger of WHP, WolvHaven Active Party and National Organization for Democracy, we have decided to join our forces because we have always had common points in our policies and in our. The last term we just had an alliance, and this time we merged.
Right. For your
Our
manifest.
ideals
Sorry.
are pretty simple. Our ideals are pretty simple. We believe that everyone in Wolvhaven is equal and should therefore have the same possibility. In fact, to some points of our manifesto, we are going to enhance the protection of certain citizens' rights that, if you would like, we discuss later.
Speaking of your manifesto, let's get started. First point: impeachment, a standardized impeachment procedure for the Prime Minister. Why do you think this is necessary?
I believe this is necessary for the stability sake of our government. In my opinion, it's not acceptable that snap election can be called without any valid reason like this. And I don't believe that a party should autonomously change its leader internally while a term is running. I believe that if there are motions of demotion on the position of the prime minister, those should be brought into the parliament. It should become a public matter.
Actually, speaking of leader, I forgot to ask you this. There has been some confusion about who is the leader of Citizens for Democracy Party. Is it you? Is it Delfino?
Our leader is Gaki Guts. I'm just here to represent our party today.
All right. Moving on. Point two: independent MPs. This is a proposal that several other parties have made. How would this possibly work in terms of an election? Because it's seemingly not compatible with the party proportional vote that we currently use.
I don't believe that we should go to extreme modification to the actual electoral law, or like the EEE party would like to do. But I just believe that we should add a second section of the in the election, and possibly put a cap of 5 independent MPs in a term, so that this election method yet guarantees some people who likes to be independent to join the party, but also it doesn't hide too much the quorum of the party.
So you're saying that by having a separate part of parliament, would player have two votes or something like that?
Yeah, my current or better, our currently idea is to make the ballots with two parts. The one with with the part, and we would normally, as we always did, and the second one where we have a list of the multiple people who candidate as independent MPs. Um, we are thinking about reform that allows the voters to vote more to express one more time preference in this list of independent MPs. We will always we will adopt the same strategy as the same method as the party proportional system. Who gets the most votes gets the most probability to get a seat in the parliament. That's mostly what we want to do.
Right, moving on now to your third point in the manifesto, citizens' rights. You're proposing a Bill of Rights for the people and workers of Wolvhaven. What would that what would that be concretely, and why is it necessary?
Okay, first thing, we will add a new section in our statutes where we will state all the basic rights of the players of WolvHaven. Because currently, I have the feeling this aspect of the of the WolvHaven life isn't really defined yet. So we felt like we needed to do something about this aspect and put black and white simple facts like the government should never force any player to do certain things unless they will remove their ranks, for example.
We're moving on to your fourth point, which is the implementation of a basic income, a brand new welfare system. Why do you think this is necessary, and how does this differ from the current time is money plugin, which pays players a certain amount every uh, a certain amount of time?
Well, it could happen that sometimes in certain given moments, some players do not have enough money to survive. Despite the existence of the Time is Money plugin, we believe that the government should, in this case, take action and give some money from the central fund account. As we have stated in our manifesto, this shouldn't become a reason to exploitation. Indeed, we will put in a bill a clause that will ensure that nobody could try to exploit this law.
Moving on to your fifth point, the re-implementation of the fuel plugin. You state that the economy is highly inflated and that you fuel plugin is a possible step that might help reduce the inflation. How is that so?
Well, it's a state of fact that, as the previous government said, our economy is pretty damaged due to its high inflation. The idea that's circulated during all these terms is that we needed some money sinks to reduce such inflation. We have thought that another starting point to do so would be the reimplementation of the eFuel plugin in the fourth Haven on obviously an experimentational period because we actually don't know if the eFuel can be implemented only in one word or it has to be implemented in all words because if it will have to be implemented in all words we won't bring further this measure because it's not fair that people pay for fuel in Gartel. Talking about fuel, the main reason why we want to put back the ufuel plugin is that in real life cars do not run on air, and they use gas. Also for a realistical sake matter, we should implement the fuel in order that the new players to come will have a better city life experience.
Right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back right after. Welcome back. We're still with Xi Jinping Plonk from Citizens from Democracy. We're now going to go and talk about the formalization of the builder rank for Fourth Haven and Fifth Haven, which is in your manifesto. Uh, what would be the the requirements for this rank?
Okay, this rank should be given after appointment. This rank is now given after appointment with the owner of the server server. Uh, we want to what we want to do is to make a reform that was a sort of Google form where aspirant builders can apply. The requirements to do this application is showing a good behavior, pass our DADI qualification exam, and have a minimum building skills as well as a basic knowledge about material. Um, we feel that this reform is necessary because there are many builders who aren't even known. Architects are really known in the server, while some players don't even know the existence of this rank. I believe that also if we make this rank more known, more people will join the building of Fifth Haven, and we will therefore have an acceleration in its building process.
Right, moving on to the seventh point, or rather, an introduction of a plugin for entertainment, seemingly.
We felt like that this the Jackbox plugin would be really enjoyable for players, for example, when making parties or other kind of. Uh, Basically, in a nutshell, this plugin what it takes any MIDI file and it turns in a note block based. In this way, we can have any song in our server. We have released the link to the Spygot MC page so that you can see the details about.
And moving on to something that you had proposed last term, but was subsequently withdrawn because of the lack of infrastructure for it. It's the Off-Corp bill and the creation of the Ministry for Trade and the Economy. What are you proposing on this topic?
We all know that in the last 2 years or so, in WolvHaven, there has been definite increase in the number of businesses that exist. We have thought that the government should create a database with all these businesses so that it can keep track of them. Um, what is the advantage for the citizens of doing so is that they have an automatic protection from any attempt of plagiarism. This bill had to be withdrawn, as you said, because the Minister for Trade and Economy was missing. The formalization, or better, the formalization of Minister for Trade and Economy was missing. And therefore, for this term, we are going to deliver both things. We are going to formalize the MFTE, the Minister for Trade and Economy, and both create and both renovate the office that was proposed by FWH some terms ago.
Moving on to admin shops, you're proposing the creation of multiple new admin shops across Fourth Haven.
So we have received many critics about admin shops in general election discussion. Because people say that it's not necessary to build other admissions around the Fort Haven, as the current one is really near to the old spawn. However, I do believe that admissions, due to their popularity, can create a fertile terrain for other activities to come. For example, if we put admission in near the I don't really recall that recall the exact name of this place, uh, but I'll have. If we take any place of Wolvhaven city that is not really busy, and we put these item shops in it, we will probably obtain the fact that more people will build their own shops in the nearby of the admission, therefore giving more popularity to said area. Additionally, this is also a good opportunity for business owners to expand their.
And now moving on to your last point, which is culture, the promotion of culture in various parts of Fifth Haven. You're proposing the commissioning of museums in Fifth Haven.
Yeah, so in 2021, WolvHaven is going to turn 10 years of rich history, architecturally speaking and politically speaking. If elected, we will commission to the Ministry of Infrastructure the building of several museums celebrating our culture and our history.
Right, and that's all the time we have for. We have just a few seconds left if you want to have a final word, Plank.
Well, if you would like to see a new government, this is the occasion to do so. We are really going to put our maximum effort in the case we get elected to the government, and we promise we won't disappoint. Thank you.
Right, thanks for watching. Tomorrow, you'll have EEE's interview, but not only that, you can also watch the debate starting from 1:30 p.m. UTC.